All right. This was about 2:30 or so in the morning outside Memphis, Tennessee. The driver kind of went in between the highway and the off-ramp there and didn't quite make either. Came down the hill and smashed right into the barrier on the bottom there. The car basically immediately burst into flames, but fortunately the driver was actually able to get out. He was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. Fortunately, it wasn't a fatality, but I do not have any updates on his current condition. We're just going to let this play out for about 20 minutes in its entirety, and you can see what a response to a situation like this would be with the police, the firefighters, and any other bystanders that stop to render aid. Now I'm going to speed this up about 400% just to kind of get through it a little bit faster, but we can see we have a couple bystanders already. The fire and the situation is going to be in that right lane, so people are going to naturally be moving to the left, and this guy decides to stop his truck halfway in that left lane, almost causing a collision. So, as good as it is to try to help people, you have to be able to do it safely if you're going to do it. And the vehicle positioning that's happening here is only complicating things and adding further hazards. See how big those trucks are trying to swerve around that scene, and then also that truck right there. If one of those truckers were to be looking at that fire, watching it in the mirror and not see this truck ahead, it would cause a giant secondary accident, which would likely also result in possibly another fire. And you can see how quickly vehicle fires can spread and engulf the entire vehicle. Very fortunate that the driver of that vehicle was able to get out and there was no other passengers that we know of inside the vehicle. These good Samaritans are trying to get him away from the fire and off to the safest part of the roadway they can, which is going to be that little corner stretch there. If you've ever been working a vehicle fire or near any sort of big fire like this, then you would know how intense this heat can be. And even though they have that considerable distance between them and the actual flames, they're still feeling a lot of heat all the way over there. So a fire truck is going to arrive. He's going to place his vehicle in such a manner where the fire personnel can safely extinguish that fire and not be in danger of any traffic. And in general, vehicle fires are pretty quick to put out if it's not an electric vehicle fire. So a few minutes later, the vehicle is going to get put out, but they also have to make sure to spray enough on there and to contain the fire. If you just put the flames out and you don't continue cooling the metal and cooling everything in there, it can flash up again. And there's also containment that needs to happen. Even though this is a cement and strong, what would normally be considered fireproof materials on this bridge, there are bridges that have collapsed and have had major structural issues when a fire has broke out underneath them, and the heat of that fire has significantly weakened it to the point of collapse. So containing the fire just to the vehicle is going to be an important thing to do while keeping everything else around it cool. All right, which one of my tow truck buddies is there and didn't have the lights on the truck?